Nothing left for me to do. You're the one that I want. You are the one I want. Ooh, ooh.
Hi guys, hi there. I don't know if that's say welcome back to my channel or welcome to my channel, but it's just a brief video as to why I'll be recording this. So if you went through my former Twitter threads, I'll post the link up here. I previously quit my toxic work environment. Now for legality cases, I will be stating this company as company XYZ. Yes, for lack of a better word. So let's get into it, shall we? This is a part 2, so the part 1 series was on the Twitter link like I've posted up there, so feel free to peruse that first and you can be able to come back. Well, after I started noticing things which were a bit shifty in the company, the working conditions, but I wouldn't call them conducive. And this is not in terms of the physical locality or the office structure or anything. This is just basically how management of the business was. So I just started noticing things like micromanagement, and there was a lot of favorism within the company. For the females, allegedly there was a lot of sexual exploitation or sexual harassment. Heck, I even faced sexual harassment at one point by the cab drivers, but that is digressing. So the working environment was not as conducive, and it was just very toxic. By toxic, I mean I would spend almost more than half of my day just preparing for a company that didn't give two about me. So I just felt I really had to leave this place. I really just had to, like, when was a plan B coming, you know? So basically, this is just how I felt. By toxicity, I basically mean that so in this company was a BPO kind of structure of a company. So basically, it would entail a hierarchy of some range. So there was a supervisor, a team leader, an agent, quality analyst, and the likes. So by toxicity, I mean it was basically a school, for lack of a better word, for me to be able to go to that place every single day, because I would be timed in terms of my breaks. Someone would literally come for me in the cafeteria as I'm finishing on my break, saying that I've exhausted my time or I have 3 minutes left to my time. Or if I communicate I'm gonna be late, I get a warning letter or a time. I don't know what they're called, those types of forms where you fill. But I think the first time I encountered the true toxicity was when I had fallen sick, and that manager chose to give me a warning letter because of something they heard in the office. Mark you, I sent everything. I sent the sick sheet, I sent communication 3 hours prior, but then they chose to believe some other people's words over mine. This is why I tell you guys, your colleagues are not your friends. Your colleagues are definitely not your friends. So yeah, that was the first time I really started becoming very skeptical about this company. And in terms of toxicity, well, it was just too much, you know. It was like there were prefects and what, you know, that type of structure. So people even got warning letters for making noise, and by making noise is just basically laughing. You finish your work, but since you're trying to like socialize and have a good time within the office, minutes to the end of your shift, you get a warning letter because you're noise making. At that point, I just felt the toxicity was just too much. I don't know if I can attach some screenshots of also how communication was. I'll attach some, as you can see right now.
Siam. I have gotten the evidence.
Basically, this is how the managers or the supervisors used to communicate to us. And I felt, oh, that's just not how communication works, especially being that XYZ company is a BPO structure. So it's communication. So learn to communicate effectively, even with your employees or your people who are beneath you. So yeah. My breaking point, I guess, was when, so because the company at the time we used to work as per American time, and being that there was still the enforcement of curfew, we could not be able to take our own selves home because, I mean, we wouldn't want to get in trouble with the authorities or the police. So when the curfew was lifted, we were told no more transportation and that we'd cater for our own means of transportation going back home. And this is inclusive. Remember, this is a company whereby you are expected to work during the night. So we have people coming in from 9 p.m., 11 p.m., and people leaving at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., and the likes. I think at that point, since at that time I was leaving my shift used to end at around 4 a.m. So I was leaving the company at 4 a.m. But we had other people who used to leave at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. So being told to get out for our own transportation at that time, I mean, and the company is paying us peanuts because of what I posted on the Twitter thread, I felt, it's stretching myself way too far, you know. So I just felt I just couldn't, because in terms of whether it was juggling between my security and being devoted to the company, I was like, hell nah, I'm gonna take my security 100%, because we also had an incident whereby a person was stabbed outside the company coming to work at around 9 p.m. And the company didn't cater for shit because they said he was attacked outside company premises, so we are not liable for any terms, medical bills, or admissals to the hospital. So at that point, I was like, well, empathy is definitely not one thing you have, and you expect us to be able to give empathy to your customers. I was like, that was very, very wrong, I swear. Also, being told to get off on transportation, the reasoning was, and I quote, if you guys can leave clubs at 2 a.m. and 3 a.m., you can also leave the company at that time and take yourselves home. So find a Boda or find an Uber cost share and take yourselves home the same way you do when you go outside to clubs. Since when is my personal life outside the company a priority for me to be able to take myself home? And we have international clients. No, I was like, hell no. That's so unfair, so very prejudiced. And there is a budget, mark you, there is a budget for transportation in company XYZ. So I don't get, where is the budget going? I mean, the clients or our superiors have been able to ensure that we are supposed to get transportation home. So where is the money going? So at that point, that was the breaking point. I was like, I'm not going to stretch myself financially and also stretch my security to be able to feel or to devote myself to company XYZ. At one point, company XYZ did nominate me for, my fellow colleagues nominated me for some post at the high table due to legality purposes. I will also not mention the exact terms. So basically, I was like an attorney of the structure, that is, sorry. So yeah, so being nominated as that, I used to get access to like HR and the bosses and the CEOs and the likes. And whenever we tried raising such valid points of what people were feeling and what we expected the company to be able to do to better the working conditions, it was all pure PR. I kid you not. I'll just label it as that, pure PR. Nothing was ever done. So whether it was like their promotions, but then when you apply, all of a sudden the next week HR has chosen its own specific people. So you tell me if that's not kissing ass or that's not favorism within the company in terms of like management or like having the right people, the right skills, being able to supervise or lead a team. Never looked into. It was all pure PR. Like we're gonna have like sessions with them to be able to better their skills in management, but nothing was ever done. So yeah, at one point, yes, they did act in terms of the physical conditions of the building. I mean, like if there's no water or like if there's harassment by the security guards, that's also another point. There was a lot of harassment by the security guards. I used to like, what, boss? Fanya kazi yako, nifanye kazi yangu. You're not gonna harass me like some kid. So I used to like, stand out for myself, and I think that's why also people decided to choose me instead to be able to voice out their issues. So yeah, but the bare minimum was ever done. So they used to do just the bare minimum. The majority concerns of people were never addressed. Up to today, because I still get feedback, we still keep in touch and everything. But yeah, so yeah, I tried my best, and at one point it reached whereby we used to go for those meetings. I'd just sit, because nothing, you're not going to do anything. You're going to give us plain PR. And the boss was very pragmatic when it came to PR, like maneno matamu ya kumtoa nyoka pangoni. He had that type of tongue. He had a sweet tongue. So yeah, so I just grew tired and decided, you know what, let me look for an alternative to be able to just leave in peace. And I did. Well, for pros, I'd say, you see how I'm thinking, because I'm trying to go back and try and see if there's any good things these people ever did. Well, for other divisions, they used to, like, get funds from the international superiors in terms of, like, group cohesion and team building and all those activities. For my division,
Oh God, I'm losing my mind.
nothing, nada, zero, so four. So yeah, I decided, like, it's just fine. But I used to witness and I used to be in certain calls with those international superiors, and money was promised. So whenever it came to Kenya per se and company XYZ, I don't know where the money used to go. It was fumbled and everything. I don't know, but rumor has it used to be fumbled and it used to go to people's pockets. So regardless, anyway, that's just, yeah. I guess that's just a good thing. And providing transportation during curfew enforcement days, yeah, that, I think basically those two. Yeah, nothing more, because the whole standard courtesy policy of, like, even having tea during for the company, tea used to be cut from our salary. Mm-hmm. Chai ya serikali, chai, tunakatwa chai kwa mshahara. And I guess it was like, oh, what, 200 shillings a day. You tell me maziwa gani ya 200 kwa siku, honestly speaking.
Mia unga ya chapati ni mia, chapati moja
Maziwa 200 na si ati ni culture milionyongezea. So yeah, I guess those are just the two good things. I guess just promoting team cohesion or team building activities and transportation during curfew hours. My parting shot would be, if you feel your work environment is very toxic and you feel it's affecting your mental health, leave. Because I left also without any plan B in motion, but God willing, luckily, plan B came the following week after I resigned. So yes, leave. Please leave. Do not allow your workspace to be able to fully dominate your mind, that you cannot be able to properly handle yourself even as an individual. Because that was me, I swear. I used to work, like I said in the Twitter thread, I used to work 12 hours a day. And you'd find most of my time or most of my day would go to company XYZ. So that's like, what, in terms of, because I used to prepare 2 hours prior already, that is 14 hours. You count 1 hour of transportation going to the company, that's 15 hours. So basically, I'd spend like, what, 16 hours for company XYZ. That's more than half of my day. And it was not fair. And only for me to go there and be shouted at or be treated badly or, like, just witness toxicity and micromanagement and be treated like a child in a company at my grown age. So I decided, you know what, it's just, so yeah, basically, if you feel like you're just in a space where you cannot be able to take it anymore, please leave. Because we have so many cases whereby people were even committing suicide, especially in the media industry, committing suicide because of a toxic work environment, and it's not fair. So please leave. Trust me, trust your gut that something will come. Trust God also that something will come eventually. You are skilled, you are a professional, you've been doing this for a very long time. So why should something not come up along the way? But do not let a toxic work environment domineer your life or take over your mental health. It's just simply not fair. And that is something I usually advocate for. A little pressure, hey?
I'm here to enjoy life. I'm not here to suffer.
Leave. Leave. Please leave. Sake of your mental health and the sake of your stability also as a person. Please leave. So yeah. So yes, guys, that concludes my long awaited visual upload for why I resigned my toxic job. And my words should not be taken out of context. I stated this. I do not use verbatim in this video, so my words should never be taken out of context. So yes. Well, yeah, thank you so much. I think I should be trying more of this vlogging thing because I tried it a while back in uni, but it never really worked out. But please, yeah, you can go ahead and like and share and, just simply keep the conversation going. If there's anything else you'd want me to talk about, please let me know in the comment section, okay? Yes, my handles are as above, as you can see there. So yeah, if you ever feel the need to be able to reach out to me concerning anything, I'm also a mental health advocate. So I usually just advocate or spread awareness concerning mental health. So yes, that's it for now. Adios, bye-bye. This is your host, your sexy ass host. I don't look presentable today, but yeah, basically, keep the conversation going, okay? Bye-bye.
Nothing left for me to do. You're the one that I want. You are